This is HRTV Rewind, taking a look back at the racing week.
Winter racing in Southern California, a Santa Anita tradition since 1934. It always starts the day after Christmas, and for nearly 4 months, this is home to the very finest in West Coast thoroughbred racing.
And there they go.
Where a legendary trainer nicknamed the Bald Eagle soared highest.
I think the Derby's over. Sunday Silence is going to romp, and it's Ferdinand and Bill Shoemaker taking the Malibu Stakes.
Where a jockey simply known as Shoe left footprints no other could follow.
But down the inside comes Nashville with Willie Shoemaker in the saddle. One of 3 winners for Shoemaker on the opening program.
And where one extraordinary mare made the impossible possible.
Zenyatta, what a performance, one we'll never forget.
This is the stuff Hollywood endings are made of. And sometimes drama runs high.
A lot of bumping going on. Game on, dude, shifted out.
Boys, we're going to be here for a little while they figure out what has actually happened here.
Today, the beginning of a new season. Who is the fastest California-bred 2-year-old? Who's the best miler on grass? And who's ready for the big stage?
Factor, another impressive win.
Welcome to opening day at Santa Anita Park.
It's the most beautiful track in the country, so we're glad to be back.
To me, this is the neatest place you could spend the winter. I mean, it's beautiful in the morning to train your horses.
Being back at Santa Anita is it's the best. It's a great race place.
Santa Anita is still the best scenery, the best place to run. You can't beat it.
Was there any worry by you that you may not make opening day?
Never.
I have a filly called Ismini. It's really special. She'll run opening day.
A 16th to go, and is Meany in a dominating performance this afternoon. Mike Smith never even thought about going to the whip. Is Meany trots home.
Really very impressive. The time was really fast, and I really didn't ask her to do much. I pulled my whip from my right back to my left and just put it right down right away because she accelerated so fast.
Who do you like?
The long shot, whoever that is.
The long shot. Write that down, guys.
And Betsy now striking the front along the inside. Tyrann's Clarence trying to come back at them. But it is going to be Betsy, a huge...
80-1, maiden beating winners. And Carolyn, I said in the rundown, I bet on this horse last time he ran.
Best fascinator today is Teresa from San Diego. Best dressed fedora, Corey from Long Beach. There he is. Each winner is going to be receiving a $1,000 gift certificate courtesy of Westfield Santa Anita. Guys, enjoy opening day and bet on some winners.
Reunited with Gomez and back on a course that he loves. How's he doing?
He's doing super. He's really feeling good, and he's sharp. And I expect him to run his race.
But it is Got Even going Tia now. Got Even's opening up, 4 lengths on them. Huge performance from Got Even. Got Even and Garrett Gomez win it convincingly.
Horse was probably fast enough to be in front of a couple of them. And I was telling Pete, I said I just didn't know if I could get him to relax in behind him or not. But I think he both surprised me and Pete and run a tremendous race today.
So I look for him to run really good. You know, given that he gets a trip and he runs like I think he can, like he's training, we could see something special today.
And Mr. Collins in a scintillating performance. Mr. Collins and Mike Smith could not have been any more impressive. They win it with their ears pricked. That was an overwhelming performance.
You know, I thought it was a back boy. I changed stick, turned up a horn. I figured they were coming on the outside. And there he goes, Nicatro there. I said, son of a gun. That was a Hall of Fame ride.
I think on the outside, he can be in the lead, but he doesn't have to be in the lead if they go really fast early. So I think we have a little more luxury than we had in the 1 hole in the Ancient Title and obviously in the Dirt Mile at Churchill.
The Factor's finding more. Rothko Associate running on late, but the Factor is all hot today. And the Factor in a superb performance. The Factor and Martin Garcia romp home in the Malibu.
If you look at my record, I've never won it, so it's really huge. It's a race that I've never been able to win, and I'm glad I finally won it.
How does it feel to win this opening day classic at Santa Anita?
Well, we were scared to come, scared to bet, and scared not to come, and scared not to bet.
When things go his way, the Factor doesn't lose.
He's a very, very gifted horse, and Bob, as a horseman, thinks he's one of the best movers he's ever trained in terms of his efficiency getting over the ground.
How confident were you after you saw the opening quarter, 22 and some ticks there for the first quarter?
Well, I saw that, then Bob said, let him run. And then I thought, okay, this is a good situation to be in.
You touched on My Miss Aurelia earlier, who some would suggest was the most impressive winner in the 2 days of races in the Breeders' Cup, Gary Stevens.
Could she make the Oaks, or is that really cutting it too close?
I think the answer is most likely that she will miss the Oaks at this point. I think Steve wants her really right for Alabama through Breeders' Cup.
Okay.
And obviously it's hard to keep these horses going for 8 or 9 months, so my hunch is that'll be the deal, but she could come back earlier.
Maybe you got to keep my fingers crossed, maybe a Breeders' Cup Classic for her?
So I think the future's bright. I think that we're in a position where we just want to bring her back when she's really, really mentally and physically right.
Can I get a free program and a form?
No.
Who do you like in the third? Naoko, I'm sure you have one. They're busy. Was there any worry by you that you may not make opening day?
Never.
Come on! I took the all box. Come on, everybody! All the celebrities are here, including Lone Star track announcer and the man who someday the great race plays, John Lees. John, happy holidays, welcome to opening day.
Boy, can you be my agent? That sounded really, really good there. I like that.
Love to see a packed crowd. You know why? They love to see Don Pierce. Steven is hiding because, again, like everybody else, he's putting together a pick 6 ticket and he doesn't want me giving it out on the air. Steven, I apologize. You like that real serious look? He's like, yeah, I'm down with Bejarano.
Factor.
That's a great pick, by the way. Who do you like?
The long shot, whoever that is.
The long shot. Write that down, guys. Nobody is giving up this wall calendar. I can't get a break. Go! 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 Yeah!
Fine, yeah. Got it.
Yeah!
Our own Peter Lurie, part of Black Diamond Racing, is his baby. This is a filly that he bred and owns. She's running for the 3rd time, and she's not the favorite, but she's in with a very good chance at 2-1.
Let's take a look at Team HRTV. Pete and Sean discussing tactics. And there's no babies around, right? So Pete can't scare any babies that are sitting around there, right? When he starts going crazy down the lane.
And Tia Bell strikes the front at exactly the right stage. Perfectly handled by Joel Rosario.
What a way for Pete to round out his year. I mean, this is probably one of the proudest moments for him. He talks about it all the time like she is her baby. There's a look
He's
at Peter
going left-handed.
Every part
Sean's
of that
going right.
left-handed sticking. They got it on both sides. Tia Bell wins the 3-year-old filly by benchmark. Congratulations, Black Diamond Racing.
She won the most prestigious race for 3-year-old fillies at Santa Anita this year.
Turbulent descent gonna get there. Turbulent descent in a thriller, one at the head.
She won on the road, proving she was much more than just a West Coast phenom.
And it's all Turbulent Descent, another greatest stakes win for Turbulent Descent and David Flores.
And at a racetrack known as the Graveyard of Favorites, she put on a sprinting clinic.
Turbulent Descent. Oh, this is a sweet filly.
At 95 cents on the dollar.
Turbulent Descent scores an absolutely decisive victory here in the test stakes.
Now Turbulent Descent is back home and returns to the site of her first ever victory. The Grade 1 La Brea Stakes at Santa Anita Park.
You know, basically she's back home, she's comfortable, she's on a fast track. We just need some racing luck today.
On the outside, Turbulent Descent is still in there as well. California Nectar's faded out. They come for home, and it's all Teddy's Promise. Teddy's Promise striding home, super impressive this afternoon. And out of all, Teddy's Promise, the daughter of Salt Lake under Victor Espinosa, to take the La Brea impressively.
And the Ellis family celebrates. Ron Ellis, winning trainer, an upset in the Grade 1 La Brea Stakes. Teddy's Promise runs them off their feet with jockey Victor Espinosa, and a very dull, flat effort from the heavily backed favorite, Turbulent Ascent.
She's traveled a lot this year. A lot's been asked of her. And one thing I found over the years, when you have a difficult trip in a big race, when a horse has been geared up specifically, say for the Breeders' Cup turf, and they get knocked around, it takes more out of them than perhaps a really grueling effort for a win.
Seemed to not get away real quick today and found herself back and had to go really wide, but she still didn't quite punch it in like she normally does, and kind of found herself in a spot she's never been at again that far back. But I don't know. I'll have to go over really well and see where she's at. She's traveled an awful lot this year. Maybe she just needs a little break, you know. I'm not quite sure, so I'll just collect my thoughts and see where we go from there with it, you know.
Well, disappointment for one horse means opportunity for another, as Ted and Judy Nichols, Teddy's Promise, comes home a winner in the Grade 1 La Brea Stakes.
Unbelievable. We were there when she was born. We helped pull her out, so it's very exciting. Very exciting.
Your first Grade 1 win?
Our first Grade 1 win, yes.
Our first racehorse.
She was our first racehorse.
She's a lovely filly. She definitely gets to go out and have a little break after every race. She goes to the spa, spends about 10 days, and comes back. And Richard, of course, has it perfect. Knows exactly what she needs and gets her ready. And I know it takes a little time, but it's worth it.
We heard from my father on the First Call show earlier, and he spoke about how she loses so much weight after her races, and she's very delicate. Ramona, as an owner, is it difficult to have a horse this talented and have to show the patience to wait for them to be just right when they run back again?
Yes. Patience is a virtue that I don't have.
Rumour now being chased home on the outside by St. Isabel, but Rumour's kicked away, and Rumour is coming home to an impressive win under Garrett Gomez. Rumour wins it well.
You're watching HRTV Rewind with a week of racing to recap.
Bullet Drill, the final of 2011, which means give me a New Year's resolution that is not about racing.
Not about racing. Oh, wow. I don't know. Maybe I'll change the oil in my car this year.
You can have people do that for you, by the way. Give me a racing resolution, Siegel.
The usual, the same one. Bet more on my winners and losers.
Bet more on the winners.
I never seem to follow that one, though.
Will you watch the ball drop?
Sure.
On the East Coast.
On the Eastern feed at 9 o'clock.
You're such a New Year's screw.
Then I'm going to sleep.
I caught up with several of the horsemen here at Santa Anita to find out what their New Year's resolutions may be.
My New Year's resolution is to have great racing at Santa Anita all year long and to have it bigger and better than ever.
No more seconds. Be nicer to Zoe in the new year.
Win more races in 2012.
Make sure nobody parties and let me get some sleep.
Eat more chicken.
Be the best person I can be and be the president of the Zoe Cadman fan club.
Well, Pete, I'm so glad you're going to be the president of my fan club, and nice to see you, Debbie. Happy New Year. My New Year's resolution to be nicer and sweeter to my co-hosts, Aaron.
Because I talking to you this morning, like, I'm not sure, when does that start?
Toward the top of the stretch, Reverone is the leader. Casual Trick on the outside second. King Kid and Notches Enjoy right behind them. It's Reverone on the rail and Casual Trick on the outside. Reverone and Casual Trick will decide it. They're nose to nose. Reverone and Casual Trick head and head in the Gulfstream Park Derby, and Reverone won it. Here comes Sacristy to the outside. Then Quick Flip. Saya Novina's closing in. Sacristy has the lead. It is Sacristy in front. On the inside, Bet to Win. Saya Novina and Quick Flip. Down to the wire. Sacristy wins the old hat. They're racing in the Mr. Prospector. No A Priority. Stumbled badly at the start. A Priority, Indiana on the outside, Captain Candyman can. Here's the wire, and it's going to be very close. A Priority ran huge.
How is Nicole H. doing, and can she make it a double in the Interborough Stakes?
I like the way she came into the race. Her last work was very good. And she looks good. She always looks good, and is acting well. So we'll see. It's only 10 weeks or so this time, and we had a pretty steady work schedule. We just she had a very serious respiratory infection after the distaff, and that's what caused us to lose so much time, and we have to be extra careful with her.
And Nicole H. takes over as they pass the 16th pole. Winning Image on the inside, coming back again on Nicole H., but Nicole H. wins the Interborough again.
You're watching HRTV Rewind, taking a look back at the racing week.
Corey, it's great to have you here. We saw My Miss Aurelia. It was a great Breeders' Cup for you, including Regally Ready. How confident were you going into the day?
I was extremely confident. Talked to Steve and Scott. I said, you guys enjoy today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to win. And that's from a rider standpoint, I didn't want to change. I wouldn't have changed positions with anybody on either one of those horses. I felt they were coming in the race great. Steve and I, we click. It's kind of amazing the opportunities that he's given me to ride and the success we've had together. It really is amazing, and it makes you feel good when a guy calls you and says, hey, look, we're going to go to California. You want to come? And I says, in a heartbeat, wherever you want me, I'm in.
Opening day, was there any nervousness? Did you think, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or did you always know you were going to be here?
I always knew I was going to be here. I enjoyed every minute of coming back. I enjoyed every minute of it.
A lot of our viewers want to know what a typical day is now for Lafitte Pinkai Jr. How do you keep yourself busy?
Well, I still get up early in the morning, and I'll go to the gym, and I work out, and have a very good diet that I do it on my own. I invented it, and I feel great. Take my vitamins. I keep busy all day. I always trying to do something, and I feel very young. I could go by if I really wanted to go back to riding. I could very easily.
You had a question about that. I was asking Lafitte. I said, it's been almost 9 years now since you retired. Do you think if you had not had that accident, that spill, do you think you'd still be riding right now?
I'm pretty sure I'd still be riding, yes.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Because I'm always trying to find things that will help me, help my body and help my mind and keep strong and do things, So, yeah.
He was inducted into Racing's Hall of Fame in 1995, 1 year before winning back-to-back San Gorgonios.
She's exuding class out here as one Desta. Sees Yen San's going on to win the San Gorgonio to Al Pride.
He won his 4th straight Eclipse Award in 2003. The same year, he won his 6th San Gorgonio.
They hit the wire and Tate's Creek beats Megahertz.
He won 6 Breeders' Cup events, the Belmont Stakes, and trained countless Grade 1 champions.
Here's the wire. See you soon. Beat Sonia's fate.
Nice, exciting race. Thank God I was on the side of the win side.
Uncharted Haven ahead to Brianda. Bobby Frankel, 700 career victories here at Santa Anita Park.
Fortunate to be at the right place, the right time with fillies. I always seem to have some good fillies.
And look at this explosive final 8 from Megahertz. Bobby Frankel has now had 100 stakes winners here at Santa Anita. Citronade, the daughter of Levin Drop Kid, absolutely smashing in the San Gorgonio.
Today, we honor the late trainer with a race he dominated for more than 3 decades. The Robert J. Frankel Stakes at Santa Anita Park.
On the inside, here comes Celestial Kitten. Paulville Queen on the outside, coming fast. City to City's in with a shot too, but it's Turning Top holding on. Turning Top on the outside, Paulville Queen. Paulville Queen flying, Paulville Queen gonna get up. Paulville Queen in a thriller to beat Turning Top.
Eddie is a link to our great and glorious past.
He's just the greatest performer as Seabiscuit or John Henry or Shoemaker.
At 97 years old, I ain't what I used to be.
How many 97-year-old men do you know that are still showing up at work and still doing their job?
They call me the footman out there now. I take care of leather. I take care of the racetrack, guys working on the racetrack.
He does actually a pretty good job on your shoes too, and he'll let you know it because he's the footman. And he's a real kick, and he makes everybody smile. And you know, he's a comfort level here.
Daddy Knows Best did not fire today, as well beaten. They come for home, and it's Chips All In. Chips All In, flying for the wire. Coming with a late run on the outside, Stony Fleece, but it's going to be Chips All In to win it.
How do you determine who the Eclipse Award winner should be? Do you go by money? Do you go by what races they won? Because if that's the case, Johnny Velasquez has got a right to be up there as well.
Every year he does as well. So closely allied with Todd Pletcher. Yeah. You really, when you crack that $20 million mark, you've almost clinched it. Yeah. That is such a huge number of dollars won by a jockey that I think Ramon Dominguez will win the title on that merit alone. He'll probably be the only one who does $20 million. So little time left in the year. Velasquez is second with $18.4 million. It'll be difficult for him to get that far, but I think it's Dominguez's year.
As far as top apprentices go, Ryan Curatolo in New York, Irad Ortiz in New York. California doesn't really have an apprentice to talk about that could be even nominated for a category like this.
Not this year. Not since Talamo 4 years ago has there been a California-based apprentice that was that dominant nationally. You know, you could easily see McMahon getting a lot of support for the award. Curatolo, I think, might get my pick. It's almost as if it should be like a half of a trophy. I hate to say it that way because you've done something that merits, recognition. But it's almost like, here, look, you've done this. This has been your rookie year. Now go out and prove yourself. Yeah. You know, I mean, we've seen Julian Lepereau has won the award in the last few years. Talamo has won the award in the last few years. But some of the others who've won it recently haven't gone on.
What do you do when you look at the trainer division and say, you know what, this matters, earnings, wins? What is it for you?
Well, I don't know that it's one set criteria. I was kind of looking at the four guys that I was kind of looking at. I wanted to look at how their year ranked, maybe in comparison to what they've done and maybe what sort of expectations there are for these guys. And like when you look at a guy like, let's start with Bill Mott, who I know had a great month of November, but really his total year wasn't that great. He won 101 races. You know that it's the lowest win total since 1992? You know, for Bill Mott, they're not Bill Mott-like numbers. And I kind of think the same with Todd Pletcher. He won 40 graded stakes, but there's been years where he's won, 60 and 70. Or conversely, a guy like Graham Motion, his 114 wins is equals his second best year. His $8.5 million in earnings is his best year. 34 stakes, 18 graded stakes, including 5 grade ones. Those are all personal bests, and he won a lot of important races, obviously led by the Kentucky Derby. A breakout year for him, and I think one that merits an award.
That's all for Rewind this week. Here's a look at what's coming up next week on HRTV.
Who's your favorite today? Do you know anybody running today?
I'm going to pick the one horse in the first race here at Santa Anita.
Wow.
1-1.
1-1. What a lucky number. Okay, thank you for sitting here and interviewing with me. Thank you so much. This is Emily signing off for West Rock Coffee.
You know what, Zoe? She's just as tall as you are. If we get her a West Rock vest, you're in trouble. Great job by Emily, and I tell you what,